Numta. Now questions, debates, shortly. Alors, do we have two remarks and questions introduced? I have one, I have two, okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for giving me the floor. I congratulate the panelists for excellent presentation. My name is Omar. I'm from the Permanent Mission of Afghanistan in Geneva. Well, whatever you discussed and present, it's, I think, excellent, and everybody is agreed with this. And in most of your presentation, even the last movie you showed, it's discussing about nature and the people. But I think that the people has not that much involved in this, and they are all, everyone, the societies agrees with protecting the nature for their life. Whenever you are telling the story or exercising of the oxygen, you remind me when I was back 1 year ago in Afghanistan, and I went to the doctor and I said, I don't feel well. I don't know why, but I don't feel well. Will you please check my glands and everything? He checked up everything, and after that he told me that you're a healthy person. But Kabul is not the place for you anymore to live. You need to go during the winter to India and during the summer to Europe. This is the problem. It's not the problem with you personally. It's the problem with the climate change and the climate. Well, I don't know how many of you have been to Kabul in this 10 years, which okay, only 10 years there was like 60 to 70% of Kabul city agriculture lands. Well, now maybe it decreased to 10 or 20%. And okay, now here I not want to blame the governments, because I'm also a government staff. But at the end of the day, I think everyone needs to protect the nature. And, well, first thing, oxygen. You don't have oxygen enough anymore in Kabul. Every week you have to move to one suburb or village to get enough oxygen and then come back on Saturday to Kabul. The thing is that I have been involved in natural issues, these environmental issues back in Kabul and here, and also in Geneva. And it's very much appreciated for all people who are active in this issue. But I think, well, it's not only, this is not the people problem, this is some huge companies and some big countries that they can respect very well, rather than people, because people, everyone needs oxygen, everyone wants to protect the nature. But for me, I see several constitutions and laws and this and that for protecting the nature. But you just mentioned in your presentations as well that it's quite interesting that, like a few years back, there was everyone was thinking that the woman and children is a property, but now you have children as rights. But I think it would be the same for nature and climate change and protecting the nature. The whole states, because the states are responsible for implementing the laws. Well, everyone is agreed. The civil society, the NGOs, the United Nations, UNAP, and all these organizations working for protection of the nature. But the thing is that I think there should be a kind of platform to bring up all this together and to bring some kind of obligatory to the states, to every state the same, to implement these laws and these regulations. If not, then I think it will continue every day, and I think, well, Europe is still a heaven, especially Switzerland. That's the point of climate change and oxygen and water and all these issues. If you want to see these things, I think you need to move some other countries and to see what is the real change of climate. And every year, I just discussed today with one of the colleagues from university, that every year we lose a lot of land in Amudarya Basin. The fields of agriculture and the people. Last year we lost 74 people. But here in the United Nations, here especially in UNICEF, there is a discussion about the protecting of oral sea. Oh, they are okay. We do respect that we should protect the oral sea because the fishes are dying there and the people in the region facing with the problem of oxygen with itself because it's decreasing the level of water. But for us, it's more important our people. Every year they die and every year they lose their landslides because of floodings. You know, it's all in the Pamir Mountains, which is between Tajikistan and Afghanistan. And glaciers is every year decreasing, you know, it's because of the heat of the earth. And then, well, I think somehow, maybe today, tomorrow, after 1 year or 2 years, I think all the states in the United Nations needs to get together, or maybe it was 2015, and make somehow comment to implement the regulation in this area. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
If you don't talk now, you will not talk. After the reaction.
Ma question est courte. Comment peut-on il met en français. Comment peut-on concilier un respect donc, de la nature qui est, on est tous d'accord, indispensable, et le besoin vital apparemment des gouvernements qu'il y ait une croissance pour que la population aille bien. En Europe, on est tout malade parce qu'on a 0% de croissance. Si on a de la croissance, on va forcément continuer de manger de la nourriture, enfin la nature. Est-ce qu'on peut concilier deux choses qui ne paraissent pas...
Can you have a translation for the entire sentence? La nature,
moi je le sais.
Oh, mais c'est ça.
Mais des gouvernements...
Thank you for his questions and remarks. Now the reactions of the panel, priority to the speakers, Thomas and then Numta and Thomas.
So I'll address the first speaker. On what you were saying about all of the nations getting together and coming up with some sort of a statement. Now, within the UN, Maria Sanchez heads the Harmony with Nature department. And this department in the UN is focused on the rights of nature. And there have already been some resolutions that recognize some of the underlying principles. For example, recently, the group of 77 nations plus China recognized harmony with nature and the need to transition into economic paradigms that operate in harmony with nature. So there are little steps. What you're talking about is something that is Maria's absolute dream, that all of the states would get together and adopt a declaration, like the Universal Declaration for the Rights of Mother Earth. And so if you are interested in this, I suggest get in touch with Maria and start working on the other delegations to bring them together and do something for 2015. This is a fantastic idea. Yeah, at COP20,
was Afghanistan present in Lima? Was your country present in Lima?
Well, not in Lima. We were there in Brazil.
And that was...
Yes.
But Lima was just last week.
No, I don't.
No, but I mean the poor Filipino was trying to, the president, protect his country, and nobody listened. You know, this is... important.
Numta, continue to answer the questions. Thomas, answer the first questions. After you answer.
Regarding your question, or actually your situation, we were talking about climate change. We're talking about the 60 largest companies on this planet. So we're talking about 60 persons, 60 CEOs that are responsible for more than 2/3 of climate emission or carbon dioxide emission. We're talking about 60 persons that are responsible for their actions. Actually, they are not. That's the point. They are not responsible, but they should be. And the fast track for that could be Ecocide, with at the end reaching the vision of having rights of nature in place. The benefit of the Ecocide approach is there is the law already there, it just is missing. There is law missing that fits perfectly into the International Criminal Code already. So it could be a fast track to be implemented within a few years, being then valid and helping to restore our climate and all the other ecocides on it. And I'll invite you personally, let's talk and meet, let's meet and talk, and get one more head of state with enough nuts, if I may say this, to raise the hand and say, I feel responsibility for this planet, and I'm raising my hand, and I want to have Ecocide as a crime against peace on this planet. Be welcome.
Okay, so the question, how do you reconcile economic growth with destruction of the planet? So this great elephant in the room, this fabulous assumption that in order to live, the economy has to grow and grow and grow and grow exponentially, is a myth. In fact, there's been no growth in Europe for the past at least 10 years. There's been no growth in Japan for the past 20 years. And economists are now coming to the conclusion that perhaps because we hit planetary limits to growth, that we enter into a post-growth society, that economies can only grow sustainably to a certain level, and after that we need to grow in other ways. We need to grow in well-being, we need to grow in quality of life, we need to grow in culture, in love and compassion. And so this is how I'd say we reconcile it by shifting our economic paradigm, transitioning it into paradigms that operate in harmony with nature, that have existed on the planet for millennia before our very recent departure from it.
About economic growth. I'm going to give a quote of Bill McKibben from 350.org. Before we are running out of climate, we'll be running out of planet. Climate change is a very critical issue. It finally reached mainstream and people are finally aware of it. But it's just one symptom and we need to change the system. Forget economic growth because we have been in crisis for 5 or 6 years now in Europe, which is a small wind, a breeze on the beach. If you compare that, out of the gas, oil and coal property owned by companies in the fossil industry, 80% of that stuff that is already in the books, that has value on the stock exchange, is not to be sold anymore. It is none of value if we want to keep it below 2 degrees plus. Can you imagine what will happen to the stock exchange if we declare that 80% of the value is void? Notwithstanding, we will have to do that. So, capitalism, consumerism, the way how we do our economy nowadays will have to end as soon as possible. And we need new deals, new ways of achieving prosperity, wellness, not measured with money. Money is an awful tool to achieve wellness and well-being. It's more than that.